Having conversations are a big part of our everyday life. They're very inevitable, whether it's having conversations with your mom, with your husband, with your wife, with your children, your co-worker at the office, or even a total stranger that you probably just met at an event. Having a conversation is something that we are all used to and we all have one way or another. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some practical tips on how you can start up and hold conversations with different people in your life, especially with people who you just have met for the very first time or you're trying to become acquainted with. So stick around because this episode is a very interesting and an educative one. Before we go into the tips, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now would be a very good time for you to click on that subscribe button and notification bell just right beside it, especially if leveling up and living the best version of your life is something that's of importance to you. And then if you haven't joined our email list as well, you are missing out on a whole lot because we actually also share valuable information via the email list that would also help you on your level up journey as well. I'm going to put a link in the description box down below. You can just click on it and it will take you straight into the email list. Now, without further ado, let's get right into today's video, shall we? Now, starting and holding a conversation is actually a skill that can be acquired and developed over time. No one was ever born bold to walk up to anyone and just start a conversation. It's something that we continuously and continually improved on over time with constant learning and, of course, constant practice. Like I said before, having conversations or knowing what to do and arming yourself with the right resources and tools that can help you start up conversations at social gatherings, in your office, wherever you find yourself, regardless of who the person is, knowing how to start a conversation and hold one is very vital for networking, making friends, meeting new people, closing up businesses, forming new partnerships, forming new alliances, forming new acquaintances, amongst other things. Trust me, it is super duper. There's something about it that makes you feel so powerful and confident when you can walk up to a person and start a conversation. Now, of course, it gets easier with time. The more you do it, easier it gets. Now, let me walk you through the points that can actually help you start and hold conversations. The very first one on my list, which is actually the most important one, is that you have to build your self-esteem. It's super important that your self-esteem is on a high. How do you build your self-esteem? Just like the phrase self-esteem means. Self-esteem is simply, how do you esteem yourself? What value do you adhere to yourself? What value do you put on yourself? How do you see yourself? In your own lens, in your eye view, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as someone who is valuable? Do you see yourself as someone who is worthy? Do you see yourself as someone who is productive and fruitful and has something to contribute to society? Do you see yourself as someone who is confident? When you look at yourself, what do you see? Do you believe that your values matter? Do you believe that your opinions matter? Now, a lot of people actually are dealing with very low self-esteem issues for different reasons. Most of the reasons are being avoided because they have probably stemmed up from childhood traumas, traumatic experiences that we experienced as children, maybe our experiences from having bad parenting, bad guidance, not having people actually talk us up or talk us right, growing up in a poor environment where nothing just seemed to be working and everything was just negative and not right. So many reasons are reasons why people actually have low self-esteem. And low self-esteem is keeping you stuck in the cages. I used to be someone who had a very low self-esteem. Sometimes I could appear bold, but I had a low self-esteem. I wasn't fully confident in myself. I didn't really like myself because I didn't understand myself and I didn't appreciate myself. but I didn't like how I felt, and I didn't like the opportunities I was missing out on because I didn't have a high level of self-esteem. And what I did was I started working on it. How can you work on your self-esteem? It's pretty simple. One, understanding that you are born with worth and value, and the one who made you for a purpose. You need to understand your purpose, walk in the light of your purpose, deal with whatever traumas you may be facing. I'm going to put some books in the description box down below that helped me on my journey to building my self-esteem. These books are books that helped me deal with my traumas, the traumas of the past, traumas that I didn't even know were affecting my life, things I didn't even know were affecting me constantly as an adult. These are things I dealt with or had to deal with as a child. Then I started reading books on purpose. I started reading books on destiny. I started reading books about life, books about self-empowerment, self-development, and these things totally transformed my mindset. Now I have a self-esteem, the level of the highest mountain in the world. There's nothing you can tell me that will make me think that I'm not valuable, that I'm not worthy, that I'm not productive, and I'm not one who was born to fulfill a beautiful purpose on the earth. And because of that, I can actually start and hold a conversation with anyone at any point in my life, like whoever that person is, be it the richest man in the world, the poorest man in the world, the one with the highest rank. I can face any army, any giant, and talk to them boldly because I have a high level of self-esteem. So work on your self-esteem so that you're not easily intimidated by people who are confident and bold in themselves, okay? The second point is somehow connected to the first one, but there's a difference. This one is talking about building your self-confidence. Self-confidence and self-esteem are two different things. Self-esteem works on the internal. Self-esteem is what you talk about, is the things you tell yourself, like how you see yourself. Self-confidence, on the other hand, is how you are able to express and portray those things that you feel and let people understand that this girl is confident. Self-confidence expresses itself through your words, your actions, how you move, your body carriage, your posture. Self-confidence expresses itself in the words that come out of your mouth and how you put it, how you articulately put your words together and all things like that. So self-esteem is like the mother, and then self-confidence is the child, or the physical aspect that just projects that you actually have self-esteem, that you know that your self-esteem is high. You would know someone who has a high level of self-esteem because they are highly confident in themselves. And you can tell from the way they talk, from the way they carry themselves, from the way they express themselves and things like that. So you also need to work on your self-confidence. The beautiful thing about it is that once you are able to do the work on your self-esteem, automatically you become more confident. There is no way you would work on your self-esteem without actually becoming a more confident person. But just in case you want to know how to be more confident, you can watch a video on the channel. I think it was the second or third video we uploaded ever on this channel. I'm going to put a link in the description box for you as well, so that you can check it out and have a better understanding of what it means to have self-confidence, okay? In order for you to be able to start and hold and enjoy conversations with other people, you must learn to become comfortable in yourself first. It's impossible for you to be comfortable with other people if you are not comfortable with yourself. How do you get comfortable with yourself? You have to love yourself. You have to enjoy being with yourself. You have to enjoy even having conversations with yourself. When you are by yourself, what kind of conversations go on with you, within you? Do you know how to love yourself generously? We also have a video on this channel on self-love. It's a two-part series where we extensively talked about the concept of self-love. In the first one, I dealt with the concept, and the second one, I shared about 20 or about 19 habits that can help you practice self-love on a more intentional level. So you go check out those videos. So you have to be comfortable in yourself. Are you comfortable in your appearance? Are you comfortable in your dressing? Do you dress comfortably enough that you don't feel like your dressing is making you look awkward? Do you have a comfortable smile? Are you comfortable in your smile? Are you comfortable in your body carriage? Are you comfortable in the way you express yourself, in your hand gesticulations? Are you comfortable? Like, you have to be comfortable. If you are not comfortable, you need to work on developing those parts that you are not comfortable with and work on it continuously until you become comfortable. So that when you get out of your house and whoever you meet, you can actually have a conversation with them, knowing fully well that you are fully comfortable in yourself. The next point that can actually help you start and hold a conversation will be for you to learn how to read a room. When you walk into a room, your intuition, your cognitive abilities have to be on alert to read the room. I put here that energy and vibe are easily very visible, and by paying very close attention, you can actually tell the energy or a vibe that someone is emitting. So we are all energy. All of us are energy, and constantly we are all emitting energy one way or another. So when you walk into a room, whether you have one person in that room or 5 people in that room or 6 people in that room, when you're paying close attention, you are aware of what kind of energy is being emitted in the room. Now you ask yourself, you start to read body language, and by noticing the energy they're emitting and reading their body language, you are able to tell what their current mood or state of mind is, what the current mood or the state of mind of the people in that room are. So you now start to ask yourself, does their current mood show that they are joyful? Are they in the mood to have a conversation? Are they busy trying to figure something out? Use it as a cue to actually lead in a conversation. Sometimes someone is emitting an energy of, I don't want to be spoken to. Maybe they're on their phone, busy going through something, and you can see that they are searching for something. It would be wrong of you to approach that person to want to start a conversation. So that's why it's important that you know how to read the room and how to read a person, so that you know when someone actually really wants a conversation to start. You would definitely know because you have intuition guiding you. I'm going to give an example. You go to an office and you've been asked to wait before you can see who you came to see. In the waiting area, there is someone else there who is also waiting to see someone as well. Now, don't just barge in to just start having a conversation with that person just because you are bold and you have a high level of self-esteem. First of all, read the person. Read the person's body language. Does the person's body language show that they actually want to entertain a conversation from you? Does it show that they are interested in having a conversation? Sometimes someone may be busy doing something and it will be wrong of you to interfere when you can clearly see that they are busy. So reading the room will guide you to know whether or not you should start that conversation. You don't want to end up getting embarrassed by someone who doesn't want to have a conversation with you. Now, I've talked about the inner work that you need to do before you can actually start to have or hold a conversation with anyone. Now let's talk about the practical things, the physical things that you can actually do to start up this conversation. You find yourself in a room you meet someone you have never met before. Maybe you're at the airport waiting to board your plane and you meet someone you've never met before, but you want to talk to the person. What can you do? The first thing you can do, if you're bold and you're confident, you have a high self-esteem, but you probably just don't know how to maybe start a small talk. The first thing you can do is what? Start with a greeting. Initiate the conversation with a greeting. Hi, good morning. Hi, good afternoon. Hello, how are you? Start with a greeting. Start with that first. And of course, with a warm smile or with a warm face, not a hard, harsh face, and then not in a forceful manner. Hi, good morning. How are you? Like, just start with a greeting. Then you can follow by introducing yourself if necessary. So you go, hi, good morning. How are you doing? My name is Winifred. I see you're reading a newspaper, waiting to board a flight. Are you, by any chance, going to Joburg? Because that's where I'm headed. And the person responds to you, let me tell you something. I have gone into business partnership with a person who lives in another country that I literally met at the airport just because I was bold enough to start a conversation like this. This man was just doing his thing and I was there listening to some music. But I listened to my intuition before I made that move. My intuition said, talk to this person. I was like, okay, why am I supposed to talk to this person? And I did. And this was how I started. Hi, good morning. My name is Winifred. I'm from Nigeria. I'm currently heading to Cape Town because I was actually in Joburg waiting to catch a flight to Cape Town. I'm heading to Cape Town. Are you heading that way? And the guy was like, oh, yes. And he says, and then the guy actually continued the conversation and says, I'm actually from Cape Town. That's where I was born and that's where I live. I was like, oh, really? And that was how we started conversation. The flight was delayed for about an hour, 45 minutes. And throughout that 1 hour, 45 minutes, I was having a conversation with that man. Today, he is my business partner. From just starting a conversation with someone at the airport. That's how powerful knowing how to hold and start a conversation is important. Of course, the next thing you can do is ask questions. After greeting, you can introduce yourself, and then if you want to continue in the conversation, so starting is one thing, holding the conversation is another. So, good morning, my name is, you can now start asking questions like I did. I'm currently, I see you're reading a newspaper waiting for a flight. I'm currently heading to Joburg. Are you heading my way? I started with a question, and from one question, I continued with another. Now, the kind of question you would ask depends on the scenario or who you're talking with or what's happening immediately. You can start with questions that concern maybe the economy, questions that both of you can easily relate to, questions like the weather. Oh, the weather is quite chilly. Is it affecting your skin? I hope you're well moisturized or you have a... Just ask any question depending on anything based on the circumstances surrounding the both of you, wherever you are, whoever it is you're meeting and all of that. The next thing you can do is, of course, after asking a question, after asking one question, you can't stop there. You wait for their response, and then depending on their mood and their response to you, you can tell if this person really wants to have a conversation with you. You can tell from their reactions, from their response, from their body language, you can really tell. And then from what they say, you can ask a follow-up question. That's the next thing. Okay, so I'm heading to Joburg, and the person says, oh, I'm heading to Cape Town. And the person, oh yes, I'm also heading to Cape Town. I actually live in Cape Town. Now, this person has given me new information with a lot of questions that I can ask. And I'm like, oh really? The next thing I can ask is, what part of Cape Town did you grow up in? Or what part of Cape Town are you from? Do you work in Cape Town? What's your favorite restaurants in Cape Town? What are the local markets like? What's the weather like in Cape Town? From that one simple question and the answer he has given me, I can get a multiple of questions and continue the conversation. That's how you really get to know anyone. This can happen not just with people you meet at the airport. It can be at the gym. You meet somebody at the gym. Oh my God, I love your toned body. How long have you been working? I can see that you've been working out for a long time. How long have you been working out at the gym? And of course, anyone that is working out will feel proud that you can notice their workout and their abs and all that. So he's like, oh, I've been working out for like a year. Oh, really? Have you been using this gym? So you can just keep asking. What is your routine like? How many times in a week do you come in? So many things. You find someone at the spa, at the local markets, at the supermarkets. This is how you can actually literally start up a conversation. Another tip would be for you to pay someone a genuine compliment. If you don't want to start by introducing yourself, you can start by saying, oh, I love your hair. Your hair is so beautiful. Where did you purchase it? Or, oh my God, your outfit looks very well put together. Oh, I really love the way you carry yourself, Tomiwa. Something. This one can actually be for a total stranger or even someone you know. Maybe a colleague at work that you want to get to know a lot better and you're looking for how to actually start the conversation. Oh, your outfit looks very gorgeous and well put together. Oh, you carry yourself so well. I love the way you carry yourself. Things like that. Start with a genuine compliment. Something else you can do is find something you have in common and start from there. Of course, this one may be with someone who you already know because you definitely don't know a stranger and what things you have in common. So with someone you already know but you want to really get to know that person better, you can start with something that you have in common. Oh, I see that you're registered at the same gym with me and I've seen you here a couple of times. I want to just get to know you a whole lot better and be friends with you. Maybe we can be gym buddies. Is that okay? That can be a way for you to actually start up a conversation with someone. I remember the very first day I signed up at the gym. The guy who is now currently my fitness coach was someone who I met just downstairs. The gym is, you have to climb a block of stairs to get to the gym. It's located in a mall. So the guy was like, because of the way I was dressed, the guy was like, are you going to the gym? And I looked at him and I said, oh yes, I'm actually going to the gym. Can you direct me, please? And he's like, okay, I would walk you up there. That's a bold guy. And he says, I would walk you up there myself. At the time, I never knew he was a gym instructor. And then as we proceeded to going up the stairs, then I asked him a question because I didn't want that awkward silence. And then I asked, I see your body is well toned. Do you come to the gym quite regularly? And that's when he now said, oh, actually, I work at the gym. I am a fitness instructor. And I said, oh my God, you're definitely going to be my fitness coach because I like the way you look and I really want to look like you. And he says, bring it on. So he took me on a tour around the gym, took me to the admin session, signed me up, got me registered. And he has literally been my gym instructor from that day up until this day. Because we were able to start up a conversation and hold it. Okay, I just want to let you know that we have a course called the Art of Speaking Eloquently and Elegantly course. This course is for anyone who wants to level up on their communication skills, who wants to be a better communicator, who wants to learn how to speak English language a whole lot better, who wants to know how to communicate excellently, elegantly, and eloquently, and very articulately. If you really want to up your game when it comes to communication, you want to express yourself a lot better, this course is definitely for you. And if you are that person who also wants to actually start and hold conversations with total strangers and people in your life, then you definitely need the course. I'm going to put a link in the description box down below on how you can get more information and of course how you can get access to the course as well. So moving right along, the next tip that you can use to actually start or hold a conversation with anyone would be for you to use common topics. Common relatable topics like work, the weather, travel, food, the state of the economy, current affairs. Like if you live in Nigeria, you know that everyone is pretty much experiencing the same state of economy, and when you start a conversation with the state of the economy, is something that everyone can literally relate to, and you can start the conversation from there. Conversation is usually progressive. These points I'm giving you are just conversation starters. I call them small talks that now leads to the main conversations. These things are so powerful. They can determine the longevity of the conversation you have with the person and can also determine the longevity of the relationship you end up building. And if you're not well armed with the right small talk or with the right vocabulary or with the right way to actually initiate it, sometimes you may lose the opportunity to become friends or go into a partnership with an amazing person. So definitely you can use small common topics as a way to start. Something else would be, this one is more of an advice than just something you can use as a way to start. Genuinely listen to others and be interested in what they're saying. So when you want to start a conversation with a person, your goal shouldn't just be, oh, okay, I just want to start the conversation. No, be genuine about what the person is talking about. Ensure you're asking genuine questions, because remember I said that your energy and your vibe can be read by people. The way you are able to notice other people's body language is the same way they can notice yours as well. So if you're giving off the wrong vibe or the wrong energy or the wrong body language, they definitely can tell. And that may get them to lose their interest if they see that you're giving off the wrong energy. This next one is also in form of an advice. And my biggest advice to you is, especially when you're meeting someone for the very first time or when you're actually trying to have a conversation with someone you don't really know, if you ever feel awkward in the middle of a conversation, be honest about it. There is no need to form anything that you're not. If you feel awkward, just blot it out, because guess what? That other person may be feeling the exact same way. And the fact that you become honest about it and show your vulnerability puts you at ease and puts that person at ease, and that in itself can actually be a conversation that you guys can continue on. I'm telling you, it's easier for you to be honest about being in an awkward situation, especially when you have that moment of awkward silence, when you don't even know what next to ask or what next to say. People are like, to be honest with you, I'm not so sure what to ask you. I want to continue this conversation, but I feel very awkward. I don't know what to ask. Be honest. Say it with a smile if you must, but just be very, very honest, okay? I want you to also remember that not everything you say will be remembered. So don't be overly worried about whether you're stuttering or whether this is what actually makes people not make the move, because they're like, oh, would I be able to speak my words right? Would I be able to say the right things? Hope I will not go and mistalk. Because of that, it keeps them bound. They are afraid of expressing themselves. Truth is, not everything you say will be remembered. In fact, the truth of the matter is 80% of what you say would not be remembered. Do you know what will be remembered? How you made the person feel. How you made the person feel is what that person is going to remember. So if you come with a positive aura, a beautiful aura, genuinely interested in knowing that person or wanting to have a conversation with a genuine intention, that person can feel it. How did your words put them up? They don't remember your words. They don't even remember if you stuttered when you wanted to ask them, how are you? They are not asked, they don't even know the accent you're using. They don't care about the accent. All they care about is how you made them feel. That's only the thing that they will remember for life. I'll give a perfect example. My friend who I met in South Africa, for example, always says it to this day, that he actually wanted to talk to me, but he didn't know if he should approach, because I was putting on my sunglasses and I had my earpiece in my ear, so he didn't know whether to approach. But he said something. He said the minute I turned towards him with a radiant smile, he said his whole world was made, because I was the one who initiated the conversation, and he will never forget the radiant smile I had on my face when I spoke to him. And that's one thing that he continues to make reference to over and over again whenever we talk on the phone. And most times, he will tell me at the end of the conversation, Winnie, don't stop smiling. And that's why I always have a smile on my face, because my friend always reminds me to keep smiling. So people never remember the things you say. They don't remember everything you say, but trust me, they will always remember how you made them feel. Those are some of the points that I have. Of course, there are quite a number of other ones that you can use, but I think the most important of the points that I've mentioned is for you to definitely go work on your self-esteem, build some self-confidence, become comfortable in yourself. Because if you don't have a high self-esteem, if you are not confident, and if you are not comfortable with yourself, it will be impossible for you to actually hold a conversation effectively with another person. Again, the link to purchase the course, The Art of Speaking Eloquently and Elegantly, will be in the description box down below for anyone who is looking to improve their communication. That's all I have for you for today's video. I'll see you again with another one. Until then, remember to stay very elegant. Take care.